Well, hello everybody. This is Steve Buckskinner 54 with Mountain Man Bushcraft, and here I am again in my home on the road. And I got another knife to show you. Now there's a little backstory to this knife. I actually made this knife, I think it was in the early or mid 80s. I made it for my brother, and I was really anxious. I was real pleased with how it came out, and I was real anxious to send it off to him. And he's not really a big knife kind of guy. That's not what he loves pocket knives and little skinners and things like that. Now he likes big knives, but that's just not the kind of thing that he would purchase. But I wanted to do this for him, so I did. And this, you know, when I lived in California, in the Inland Empire area, in Fontana, there was a store there called the Front Loader. I think I've talked about that before. And they had all these knife blanks, and they had some of them were casted. I mean, casted knife blanks. I don't know, how good can it be, right? But there was one that had a profile that I really liked, but I thought, man, that looks like a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that. So I just decided, go ahead and get it. And this is back when I was a machinist, and I didn't really have the tools at home, but you know, on my break and lunch, I would work on things like this. I made knives out of files and such, and some of them came out really cool. But anyway, I'll show you what this is. Now, like I said, being casted, it was very rough. Because that's just the way casted things are, you know. They take a lot of work or a lot of machining, but I didn't have the machines, but I had, you know, big bench grinder, and files didn't work very well on this because it's extremely hard. So, but anyway, without further ado, and then of course I made this sheath. I made another sheath for it. Then I decided to make my brother a different sheath, and he would wear it for cowboy action shooting, and it would, you know, it got some looks for sure. But here it is. Here's the sheath. It's just, I actually just used boot lacing for the lace around there, the whip stitch, and just incorporated it to have a keeper on there. Just very simple. Something you might think that somebody in the olden days that might do something like that if they just did it themselves. But anyway, here it comes. Now here's the big old Stag handle I put on it. Now it's put on there with a good 5-minute epoxy. This thing is old. I mean, I've told you, you know, back in the 80s is when I made it, and it's just as solid as the day that I made it. So here's the blade. I really like the profile. I got a convex grind on it. I could have put any kind of grind really that I wanted, but this has got a convex grind. That's really my favorite grind. And it could use a little work on the edge, but it doesn't have far to go. But yeah, I really like this profile. They had another design also. In fact, I'd made a couple of knives from those and gave those to one to my nephew and one to my brother-in-law. So, but you know, the guard is brass, but it's very tarnished right now, which I kind of like the looks of it, you know. And machined that out and bent it into the S shape that you see. So, and like I said, I don't know what kind of a steel it is, but it was very rough, very pitted, you know, as a casted material would be. And boy, I'll tell you, it took a lot of grinding. And then of course we had a fiber wheel, not a polishing wheel, but a fiber wheel that actually removes material, and that's what got it polished up to the point that it's at right now. So so my brother had it for years, and then so my brother and I get a little warped with each other once in a while, and you know, we'll say, so what do you want of mine if I die? And he asked me about that one day, and I said, well, I wouldn't mind having that knife back that I made for you years ago, you know, because I always liked it. I thought, man, this is a cool knife, you know. So he said, well, why don't I just give it to you now? Because he goes, I'm not using it and all this stuff, and kind of just taking up space. So I said, okay, well, that's fine with me. You know, if you don't got any use, if you don't have any use for it, I'll be glad to take it back. So then now he's calling me a, well, I don't know if I should say it, an Indian giver. Now, if you know what that means, I'm going to do a little backstory on the Indian giver. That's not talking about Indians giving something and taking it back. It's what the Indians have been given, and then the government took it back. So that's what that's all about. It has nothing to do with Native Americans reneging on their word. So, but that's where that comes from. But anyway, so he kind of teases me about that a little bit. And but there you go. That's the knife, and now it's mine again. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can kind of see there's a little bit of started taking on a little bit of a rust right in here, and right down in here. You can kind of see that, but that's not a big deal. But yeah, I just thought, you know, well, heck yeah, I'll take it back. But anyway, so he's still teasing me about it. But there it is. I got a little bit of a stamping on there, you know, border stamp. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it real well. There you go, guys. Anyway, that's just another little video I thought I'd show you guys, and hope you enjoyed it and maybe got a chuckle out of it. But anyway, I appreciate you guys still hanging out. I haven't put a video out in so long, and I have ideas for other videos, but all my stuff has been put away. I'm out here on the road. My daughter's been a big help to us as far as getting us prepared for moving, and she's packed away a lot of my stuff. So well, that's okay. I appreciate her. And upward and onward. Once we get moved, hopefully we'll get it all unpacked, and I'll be able to get back to it, and I'll be able to retire, and that's the big plus right there. So then I'll have a lot more time to start making more leather stuff, and maybe to do some videos on making buckskin clothes and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we can go out and do some shooting on the muzzle loaders and some of the other guns that I'd like to show you guys. So hopefully we'll get to that point, but we got to get moved. So God bless you, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping and viewing. This is Steve, Buckskinner 54 with Mountain Man Bushcraft. We'll see you all next time. God bless.